Happy week 8. This week's discussion, I've chosen to go with option 2. What events caused voters to lose faith in the political system and the nation's leaders in the late 1960s and 1970s? And how does the political climate of that era compare to the current climate in the US? So in the 1960s and 70s, there was a lot of distrust that was developed. Many people didn't want to be involved in the Vietnam War, and it dragged on despite being told that we didn't want to be involved, we wouldn't want to continue. But it continued. They were saying one thing, doing another. I understand it doesn't happen with the snap of a finger, but I think that really, when you're not seeing any efforts being shown, that can really cause some feelings of distrust. They also, the Watergate scandal, news broke that Nixon's administration was involved in hiding these devices in people's offices and collecting information that they otherwise wouldn't have. So that led to distrust as well. You want to be able to believe that people are doing things the right way. And when it becomes public that you're not, um, people don't take fondly to that. And then economically, I feel like the people were oversold or overpromised and undersold. They were promised that these tax policies were going to go into effect, cutting taxes for the rich and therefore giving them the funds to reinvest and create these jobs for the lower income and middle class. And ultimately, I don't think that actually happened. They just continued to, the lower and middle class continued just to work, and their incomes didn't really increase, but the people who were wealthy just continued to get more wealthy. And I think that um, we're pretty much in the same kind of situation now. Um, we got involved in this and Russia, and um, people, many people didn't want us to be a part of that, and here we are, still involved. I know that based on what I've seen, it seems like we're trying to um, make things to where we are no longer involved. And I know that takes time, but I think that we're kind of in a situation where until people actually see that this is happening, they're still not going to believe um, that we don't want to be part of it any longer. And then it seems like um, a lot of the tax policies that have continued through um, aim to cut taxes for the wealthy. And I think that they still have that same idea that it'll create jobs and make the lower class and middle class people um, have the ability to earn more income, but it doesn't seem like that's been the case. So I think that we're we continue to see that where policies are set in place that say that they have the intention of helping lower and middle class, but they don't always do so. And I think that people get really tired of that, especially considering, that the wealthy is only a small percentage of the total population. Um, so I think that it's very similar between then and now. Um, and it's kind of interesting because I feel like reading about this generation or this time period, I mean, and comparing it to today, it almost seemed like it was verbatim, just different names. Um, so I wonder where we will be at in, another 40 years and if we're repeating the same cycle.